Hi, Dr. Paul Haider here. I was talking with a man this week and he said, you know what, I've lived in the big city all my life and I ended up selling my place in the city, and he was a very big financial expert and he was into multiple homes. He had all these different apartments he was renting, and he got together with his mom and decided they would buy some property out in the country. So they bought something like $150,000 worth of property, which is about an acre or a half, something like that, and a house. And they raised their own vegetables, and they have a few fruit trees, and he now basically tends the garden, takes care of the trees, and has a lot more time to himself, time to read, time to meditate, time to pray, time to contemplate God. And I think that's really what we need. I think we get caught up in this craziness of needing all this stuff and this needing to be busy all the time. And as I've talked about many times before, we need to go back to a simpler way of living. Now, what do you need? What do I need? I need to eat. I need to have a home to live in. I need to have time to myself and time for my family. And that's what this man also said. He said, you know what? I have a lot more time for my mom. I have a lot more time for my brothers and sisters and my wife. And so it makes a lot of sense. Instead of doing more, having more, is to do less and have more. In the end, it's really what we want. In fact, I find it really interesting on the BBC they showed that people who lived in areas where there was a lot of green space were much happier. And even if they won the lotto and won $1 million within 6 months to a year, they were not happy again if they didn't live in a place that made them happy as far as being around nature. And if we go back to a simpler way of living life, we're around nature a lot. And there's nothing more self-fulfilling than to grow something yourself and you eat it and you know that I did this with my own hands. So I ask you, from a God perspective, what do you really want and need? And do you find yourself being fulfilled and having the time to do what you really want to do? And also one thing this man said was, you know what? I have a lot less stress in my life. A lot less stress. I feel like the big balloon is deflated. I think that's really important. So there's something about surviving on your own. You don't need to go to the grocery store very often, and you just have more time for yourself. More time to pray, and more time to love your loved ones. And that's what it's really all about. Have a wonderful day, and remember, I love you.